When a man who lived happily with his wife and their loyal dog came home early one day, he was confused to hear his wife talking to someone in the shower. His surprise grew when he found out the truth, leading him to hug both his wife and their beloved dog with a new understanding. The story begins with Damian and Katherine, a young couple who had been happily married for just a short time. Living in Atlanta, Georgia, the 29-year-olds weren't ready to start a family yet, but their home felt a bit empty. Damian worked long hours as an accounting consultant, often leaving Katherine alone during the day while she worked from home. Seeing her alone so much, Damian agreed when Katherine suggested getting a dog to keep her company. Katherine was overjoyed when they adopted Ivy, a 1-year-old Australian Shepherd. The moment they met, Ivy and Katherine clicked instantly. Ivy was smart, loyal, and brimming with energy, quickly becoming Katherine's best friend. They were always together, and Damian was pleased to see his wife so happy. However, he soon noticed something unusual. Katherine was rarely without Ivy, even taking her into the bathroom. Damian started to wonder if he felt left out because of the dog. Damian loved his wife deeply and worked hard to provide for her. Despite his demanding job, coming home to Katherine was the highlight of his day. Katherine, in turn, made sure to cook dinner for him every night and cherished their time together. Yet, Damian couldn't shake the feeling that he didn't know what Katherine was up to during the long hours he was at work. After several months of hard work, Damian got a promotion that let him come home earlier. Thrilled to surprise Katherine and share the good news, he rushed home one evening, expecting a warm and joyful welcome. But what he walked into that night was anything but what he had imagined. When Damian arrived, the house was eerily quiet. He called out for Katherine but got no response. Realizing she must be in the shower, he made his way toward the bathroom. From outside the door, he could hear Katherine's voice, but the words were muffled by the sound of the running water. Curious, Damian pressed his ear closer to the door, wondering if she was talking to someone. All he could hear was the constant rush of water. Suddenly, the shower stopped. Damian called out, "Honey, I'm home." Almost immediately, there was a loud crash from inside the bathroom, followed by a faint whine. Worried, Damian asked, "Are you okay?" Katherine's voice, sounding shaky, replied, "Yeah, I'll be out in a minute." But before we go deeper into the story, make sure to hit that like button and be sure to subscribe. Let's continue the story. When Katherine finally emerged from the bathroom, Ivy was at her side as always, but she looked visibly shaken. Damian didn't think much of it at first, assuming his unexpected arrival had startled her. He excitedly shared the news about his promotion, but Katherine's reaction was oddly subdued. She gave him a faint smile, leaving Damian puzzled. Then, a question he had been wondering about slipped out. "Were you talking to someone in the bathroom?" Katherine briefly met his gaze before quickly looking away. "Just Ivy," she said softly. Damian wasn't convinced. What could she possibly be talking about with a dog? She added, "He keeps me safe when I'm alone." But Damian's worry grew. Was Katherine scared of something? Why hadn't she mentioned this before? Over the next few days, Damian noticed more unusual behavior. Katherine seemed increasingly anxious and distracted. She started forgetting things she used to manage easily, like paying bills and grocery shopping. Despite Damian being home earlier, she still took Ivy into the bathroom every time she showered, and he kept hearing her talking softly behind the closed door. Worried that something was seriously wrong, Damian decided to take action. He upgraded their home security system, installing a doorbell camera that would alert him whenever the front door opened. He hoped this would make Katherine feel safer, but it only led to more questions. One afternoon, while Damian was at work, his phone buzzed with a notification from the doorbell camera. Katherine had left the house with Ivy on a leash. At first, he didn't think much of it, assuming she was just taking the dog for a walk. But when the camera alerted him that she had returned home hours later, Damian started to worry. This happened repeatedly over the next few days, with Katherine being away for long periods each time. Damian couldn't shake the feeling. What was she doing during these extended outings? Determined to find out, Damian confronted Katherine one evening. "Who were you talking to in the bathroom?" he asked, frustration clear in his voice. Katherine's face changed, and she snapped back defensively. "We've been through this. It's just Ivy." Damian was shocked by her sudden anger. "Oh, so now you're spying on me?" she retorted. The tension between them kept building, and Damian's hurt feelings pushed him to uncover the truth. That night, he chose to sleep on the couch, his mind racing with worry. He couldn't shake the feeling that Katherine was hiding something from him. Determined to find out what was really going on, he made a plan for the next day. While Katherine was at work, Damian bought a small, discreet surveillance camera that he could easily hide in the bathroom. When night fell and Katherine went to bed, he carefully set up the camera, making sure it had a clear view of the bathroom. He connected the camera to an app on his phone, preparing to monitor whatever happened next. The following evening, Katherine and Ivy went into the bathroom as usual. With his heart pounding, Damian watched the live feed from his phone. At first, everything seemed normal. Katherine placed her phone on the counter and stepped into the shower. Ivy stayed close, just as always. But then something unusual happened. Ivy whined, and Katherine's voice came through clearly. "Towel, Ivy." To Damian's surprise, Ivy fetched the towel and brought it to her. Katherine, looking exhausted, sat on the floor. Then Damian's eyes widened in shock as Ivy retrieved something from the counter. It wasn't Katherine's phone. It was an orange pill bottle. Damian watched, frozen in shock, as Katherine took a pill and whispered, "Good boy, Ivy. Can you get my water?" The dog quickly fetched a bottle of water for her. Damian's heart sank. Katherine wasn't talking to someone else. She had been telling the truth all along. Ivy wasn't just a pet, he was her helper. But why? Damian felt a rush of guilt for suspecting her of hiding something sinister, when, in reality, she was dealing with something much more serious. When Katherine finally came out of the bathroom, Damian gently guided her to the bed, his worry clear. Seeing the concern in his eyes, Katherine knew he had figured it out. She took a deep breath and began to explain. "I have a chronic illness called postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. My heart rate shoots up when I stand or stay on my feet for too long. Ivy stays close because he can sense when my heart rate rises." She went on to explain that her long outings during the day were for doctor's appointments and therapy sessions. Ivy had been trained as her service dog to help manage her illness, which often left her feeling weak or at risk of fainting. Damian listened in silence, his heart weighed down by guilt and relief. His earlier suspicions had been completely wrong, and he now saw just how much his wife had been struggling alone. He wrapped her in his arms and whispered, "I'm so sorry for doubting you. I had no idea." From that moment, Damian promised to be the partner Katherine needed. He committed to supporting her through her illness and accepting Ivy's crucial role in her life. Together, they would tackle this challenge, united and stronger than ever. So, that's all for today. What are your thoughts about this story? Tell us in the comment section below, and if you like this, make sure to like and subscribe. Your support means so much to us. Until then, take care and thanks for watching.